This is what the manufacturing worker of the future looks like. A machine with the capability to do 4 times the work compared to that of your average 40 hours a week laborer. And it's inevitable.
Indeed, the day is not far distant when these electronic brains will take a great deal of guesswork out of command decisions thanks to such devices for high-speed information retrieval from a tremendous storage capacity.
I went through 2 startups. I watched technology take jobs during those startups, where it used to take 15, maybe 20 people to run a pulp mill. We was down to maybe 10 because technology, computers instead of a long panel board, new equipment that takes the place of people's work jobs. So this doesn't surprise me a bit.
According to a recently proposed Amazon labor outline, the company plans to install more machines that would displace 24 roles per fulfillment center. That would amount to more than 1,300 cuts across the 55 U.S. fulfillment centers. Amazon would expect to recover the cost in under 2 years, at $1 million per machine.
It's easier than ever to take a domestic worker here working in a factory or a warehouse or wherever and have that job that they're doing be done either by someone in a different country or by a machine.
This means that corporate industries have the power to maximize their profits while minimizing human resources. This is what is referred to as technological displacement, or simply just automation.
My reaction to facts like this are sort of twofold. Part of me thinks, well, we're in a capitalist system. Businesses seek profit. That's their motive. Of course, they automate. It's better productivity. It's faster. They make more profit doing that. But, and this is more of my opinion, but they're doing so on the back of the American worker.
Automation. When you think of this word, you probably think of all the products that mankind has developed that have made our lives easier. The term automation was actually coined in the automobile industry in 1946 to describe the increased use of automatic devices and controls in mechanized production lines. Up until now, that word has generally meant progress for our society, but some say things are different in the present day.
The problem is now obvious. The rate of economic change, what economists call disruption, which is a terribly clinical word for lots of people in places like Ohio and Illinois and Michigan, my city of Bridgeport, Connecticut, having their livelihoods obliterated by economic change, yes, by globalization, yes, by trade, and yes, by automation.
Well, you're losing the jobs. When you lose the jobs, you're losing the money in the communities. I mean, every time a plant shuts down, you find out most of the time the community supports those workers, because they're the ones spending their money back in their community. What happens when that money is drained out? What is the old saying? Every dollar spent is spent like 7 times more. So you didn't lose just the 7,000 jobs in that mill, you lost the suppliers to them and other things that were helping in that plant. So
The question is, how long does it last? So most economists, modern economists, have said it's temporary, it's transient. We go through it, we retrain, we refocus, and it passes. That the economy will sort of take care of itself. Is that still going to hold true, or is this a problem that we actually need to be more proactive about?
McKinsey, a management consultant firm, found that 1/3 of American jobs, including truck drivers, retail jobs, and manufacturing, will be lost to automation by the year 2030. The question is, what is our government doing to help these displaced workers?
Government-funded training, I think, is something that a lot of candidates are probably, I would say, passionate about, although they don't talk about.
Many candidates fail to address these issues, but why?
a lot of it is to strengthen the voice and the power and the money involved in the corporations, the influence they got on legislators. Then they turn around and they say, well, they've got my ear, the people don't.
Introducing Andrew Yang, a businessman and Democratic candidate for the 2020 presidential election. He is running based on the very issue of automation.
And the reason why Donald Trump is our president, the reason why he won your state by 8 points, is that we blasted away 40,000 manufacturing jobs right here in Iowa, and you saw all of those towns go from blue to red.
He proposes the only way to solve this problem would be to implement a universal basic income, giving every American over the age of 18 a guaranteed $1,000 a month. This would be paid for by a value-added tax to big corporations who are profiting on the displacement of jobs.
They see what's happening around them. Their Main Street stores are closing. They see a self-serve kiosk in every McDonald's, every grocery store, every CVS.
As of now, Yang is the only presidential candidate to campaign for a solution to the rising tides of the automation revolution. Automation has already affected hundreds of thousands of American citizens across the country, and it's in an upward trajectory to affect even more. Will the minimum wage worker of the future be man or machine?